Hello everyone and welcome back to Bescheuertes Kurzes Bein. My name's Lea. Welcome back to the third test in New Zealand's tour of India from the Wankhede Stadium. Evening session of the second day of this final test in the series, the final test for India before they are off to contest the Border Gavaskar Trophy down under. Please let me know if you can hear me all right. It seems to be okay on my end. Maybe a bit of an adjustment to the audio levels. No, it should be fine, actually. So, where are we? A mad first day, one has to say. New Zealand won the toss, elected to bat, made 235 in their first innings. They were dismissed in the evening session of the first day, with 4 New Zealand wickets falling in the first half of that session. India, in reply, then kind of made a mess of it, one would have to say, with 4 wickets falling. At the end of the day, they were 86 for 4. Shubman Gill and Rishabh Pant being out in the middle for India. And India seemed to be, well, quite frankly, in the shitter. All that after it was all his fault. He played it directly to mid-on. Matt Henry there. It was a okay. Sorry for the disconnection. For the technical problems there. As I was saying, what rescued India from the state of 86 for 4 at the end of the first day was a partnership between Rishabh Pant and Shubman Gill that nearly made it 100. In the end, they made 96 from 114 deliveries. And during that time, India actually looked like they might be able to take a substantial first innings lead. In the end, it was only 28 runs on the first innings, as India were out for 263 in reply to New Zealand's 235. India were dismissed in the second session of this second day. And then Akashdeep made an early breakthrough. He dismissed Tom Latham for 1, which sent New Zealand to 4 for 1 in their second innings. Now it is tea, and New Zealand are 26 for 1. Basically being 2 runs down and having 9 wickets in hand after India recovered to 263 all out. So, as I said, it is currently tea. Play will resume in about, I think, 10 minutes, something like that. India have bowled 9 overs so far in this second innings of New Zealand. They have thus far used 4 bowlers. Akashdeep bowled 4 overs. He bowled no maidens, conceded 9 runs, but he took the wicket of Tom Latham. Washington Sundar, 2 overs, no maidens, 5 runs, 0 wickets. Ravichandran Ashwin, 2 overs, no maidens, 8 runs and no wickets. And Ravindra Jadeja, 1 over, no maidens, 2 runs and no wicket. So, it looks like the pitch is starting to show some signs of spin, which obviously explains that bowling lineup for India. 3 spinners plus Akashdeep. Yeah, let's have a. Oh, I didn't tell you who is out in the middle for New Zealand at the moment. Currently, there are Devon Conway, who is not out on 15, and Will Young, who is not out on 8, are the 2 batsmen out in the middle for the Kiwis. There have been 2 extras in the innings, 2 leg byes. So that makes it 26 for 1, because Tom Latham made a single run before being dismissed by Akashdeep. He was bowled by Akashdeep, facing 4 balls. Okay. As always, if you want to get in touch with me, you can obviously use the YouTube chat, or you can use social media. I will be monitoring those as well. The top one is my Twitter handle, and the bottom one is my Blue Sky handle. If you want to get in touch with me through those sites, you are very welcome to do so. I would actually prefer Blue Sky if possible, because I don't like looking at Twitter that much. It's been on the downward slope ever since Elmo bought it. So I know a lot of people are migrating over to Blue Sky at the moment, which is basically what Twitter used to be. So if you do not yet have a Blue Sky account, check it out. It is now open to everyone. You do not need an invitation code anymore. Yeah, so check it out. YouTube chat obviously is fine as well. And let's see what will happen here in Mumbai. Any predictions? Any suggestions? Get in touch with me. I was also writing to INDvNZ over on Twitter, because he agreed to give us some updates from the ground today, because he's a very, very lucky man, and he is in Mumbai currently, and he has tickets to the second day. Thank you very, very much again to INDvNZ for agreeing to update us, everyone. So let us see. I think it's about 5 minutes from the restart of play now. What are your predictions? Will India win a consolation victory in this third test after losing the series in the first 2 matches? The first time that India has lost a series at home since 2012. The first time that Alistair Cook was the regular England captain. His first assignment as the regular England captain after captaining England as a stand-in during 2010 on a tour to, I think it was Bangladesh, wasn't it? It was before the 2010-11 Ashes, and Andrew Strauss, who was at that time famously captain of England, was arrested for the Ashes later in the year. So Cook got to be captain, or got to train as a captain, if you will, during the 2010 tour to Bangladesh. So historic series win for the Kiwis. If they could whitewash India here, it would be even more special. But that seems a bit unlikely at the moment. If India would lose this match, it would also mean that Rohit Sharma had lost 5 tests at home as captain, which would put him in an undisputed second place on the all-time list of tests lost at home as India captain. Currently, he shares the second place with Kapil Dev and Mohammad Azharuddin. All 3 of them have lost 4 tests at home as India captain. Number 1 is Mansur Ali Khan Pataudi, the Nawab of Pataudi at the time, the older Pataudi, who was India's first ever test captain. He famously played in the Bodyline series for England at the time and was dropped by Douglas Jardine for objecting to Jardine's bodyline tactics. So, I think we are about to resume play. Let's see what happens during the 3rd session of the day in Mumbai at the Wankhede Stadium. Reminder, New Zealand trail by 2 runs. They have lost 1 wicket. Captain Tom Latham had to go. Early in the innings, he was dismissed by Akash Deep, who at this point is the only India pacer to have bowled any overs in the 2nd innings of New Zealand. And the players are out in the middle. There is the huddle from India, as we are seeing Rohit Sharma in conversation with the wicket taker Akashdeep, and now we're seeing replays of that wicket he took earlier in the day. He sneaks one past the inside edge and the pad of Tom Latham, bowled him through the gate, hitting the top of middle. All 3 stumps out of the ground. Very, very good delivery that from Akash Deep. India look relatively relaxed and confident in this 2nd innings after being, well, basically under the cosh for most of the series so far. Maybe apart from that monster 2nd innings after they were dismissed for 46 in the first one. Yes, another thing to note, perhaps, no joy for Zafraz Khan in this match. He was dismissed for a duck in India's first innings. And that is one of 2 ducks for India in the first innings. The other one being Akash Deep, who was run out. So, we are back live, and Ravichandran Ashwin has the ball in his hands. He adjusts his field as we are about to start the final session of the day, and Ashwin comes in, right arm around the wicket, and It is defended back to the bowler by Devon Conway. There is no run. Next one is another right arm around the wicket delivery. This time it is guided towards third man by Conway, and New Zealand take another single. 27 for 1 now. So the deficit just a single run, and Will Young is on strike to face Ravichandran Ashwin now. Ashwin changing to over the wicket for Conway, and this one is defended into the leg side by Will Young. Will Young. It is fielded by mid-wicket. There is no run. There is a slip. There's a leg slip. There's a short leg for Will Young, and next delivery there seems to be an appeal. Is that because Will Young spoons one off to short leg? That's Sarfraz Khan there. He takes the catch cleanly. There seems to be some enthusiasm, but no. Everyone decides that came off the pad. That's not a bad pad catch, and everyone carries on. We are now seeing replays of that delivery, and yes, he looks to flick it, misses it. It hits him high on the pad. It spoons up, and Sarfraz Khan takes a catch, but no, there was no bat involved in that one. So no wicket for Ravichandran Ashwin. Next one is a single to Young, putting Conway on strike for the final delivery of Ashwin's third over, which results in a dot. Scores are now level. New Zealand 28 for 1 after 10 overs in their second innings, and it is Ravi Jadeja on to bowl his second over for India. Young is on strike, and he is on a 9 of 23. Conway, the non-striker, 16 of 33. Oh no, it's not Ravi Jadeja, it is Washington Sundar. Washington Sundar, he bowled 18.4 overs in the first innings, 2 maidens, 81 runs, took 4 wickets. Second most for India in the first innings. Of course, Ravindra Jadeja took a fifer in the first innings. Thus far in the second innings, he has bowled 2 overs. His figures are none for 5. And Will Young is marking his guard, taking strike. There is a short leg, there is a leg slip and a slip for him. And the first one is clipped off his pads into the leg side. There is Jaiswal coming in from deep mid-wicket, fielding it, and New Zealand take another single, 29 for 1. That's double figures for Young now, 10 of 24, and Conway is back on strike. Let's have a look if anyone wrote in already. Is there someone in the chat? Doesn't look like it. Anyway, Sundar continues. He bowls right arm around the wicket, and there is an almighty heave from Devon Conway, and it flies over the slip, over the keeper, and runs away to the boundary, but it missed the bat completely. Oh no, there is interference from the keeper. Rishabh Pant did not take that one cleanly, and that is 4 byes straight down the ground behind the keeper 2 slips now for the left-handed Conway. There is some turn on offer here for Washington Sundar, who comes in again, right arm around the wicket, and that is defended back to the bowler by Devon Conway, who is on 16 of 36 deliveries. And next one is wide outside the off stump, and it is cut by Conway, and New Zealand take another single, 34 for 1. Washington Sundar with figures of none for 7 from 2.5 overs. As we are seeing close-ups of Rishabh Pant, who has not had the best of tests behind the stumps after coming back from that horrific car crash injury earlier in the year against Bangladesh. He has made an impact with the bat for India in this test so far, rescuing them after their night watchman ploy didn't really work. If you want to know more about that passage of play, that I termed it the Mad Minute, which is a reference to military jargon and an advanced squad leader scenario. So yeah, whoever had German trans woman talking about one of the most complex World War II board games ever devised on a cricket broadcast. Well done, you. Well, I will continue after this over. That is bowled by Ravichandran Ashwin, who bowls to the left-handed Conway. There is a slip. There is a silly point in place for him, and Ashwin opens the 12th over with 2 dot balls. He bowls right arm around the wicket, and Conway keeps it down, defends those deliveries into the offside to the left of silly point, which should be Sarfraz Khan. Third delivery beats his outside edge. It is taken cleanly by Pant. There is appreciable spin for Ashwin here. Rohit Sharma, the captain, seems very, very satisfied with the bowling of Ravichandran Ashwin, one of the world's leading all-rounders in Test cricket. 6 tons and 34 fifers, I think. A single of the penultimate delivery of Ashwin's 4th over, and now he comes over the wicket to the right-hander Young, who goes down on one knee, tries to sweep him. There is a brief discussion if Young got a top edge there. Rohit Sharma, the captain, decides against reviewing that one. So at the end of the over, New Zealand are 35 for 1. I was saying, go check out Alex Bowden's kingcricket.co.uk. I think it's co.uk. He has a very, very excellent article on the two golden ducks that happened in the last few days. The first one was Craig Overton in the white ball game of England in the West Indies, and the second one is, of course, Mohammad Siraj's mad golden duck that cost India a review as well yesterday evening. So go and check that one out. Friend of the show, Alex. And it is Washington Sundar to continue. And New Zealand take a couple here. There is a chance of a run out, but the batsman is safely in and the decision comes back not out. A couple for New Zealand, 37 for 1 here. Sundar continues to Conway, who blocks this delivery that is bowled right arm around the wicket back towards the bowler, and there is no run. Sundar continues, and there seems to be no bat on that next delivery. New Zealand run a couple as it evades both first slip and the keeper. No, seems like the umpires have decided there has been bat on that one. If there is bat on that, it is a very, very faint outside edge. Yes, the faintest of outside edges, and it goes through Rishabh Pant's feet between his legs. He is, as we call it in Germany, tunneled. In English, you would probably say he's nutmegged. 39 for 1, New Zealand. We are now seeing replays of that shot by Conway, and there is indeed a faint noise on Snicko. Next one is basically the same delivery from Washington Sundar, right arm around the wicket, and Conway gets another outside edge on that one, but this time it is not that faint and it is taken at slip. Devon Conway has to go for 22 of 47 deliveries. He is out caught in the slips. Washington Sundar, the bowler. It is second slip. And who is at second slip? It is Shubman Gill. So Conway has to go. Caught Gill, bowled Sundar for 22. And India have another one. There is a lot of turn starting to show on this pitch. Devon Conway saw 47 deliveries for his 22. And India start the session very, very positively, one would think. So, yeah, anyone watching, if you want to get in touch with the stream, you are very welcome to do so. You can use the YouTube chat, obviously, but there are also my social media handles if you prefer to use another site. At LinuxLear for Twitter and at linuxlear.bsky.social for the Blue Sky. Do get in touch. I'd love to chat to you, and I will read out the social media messages between overs. Anyone who listens to Guerrilla Cricket knows how this kind of thing works, I would hope. Let me check Twitter if we have any messages from special correspondent Anindo Dutta on the ground at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. I messaged him earlier during the tea break asking him what the feeling in the ground is, what the atmosphere in the ground is. Always hard to judge these kind of things from just the television pictures, which I'm relying on, obviously, because I'm in Germany. Hasn't responded yet, but I'll keep checking. So, as we are seeing the scorecard. So, Will Young is now joined by Rachin Ravindra. And New Zealand are 39 for 2 in their second innings. Ravindra survived his first delivery from Washington Sundar. Now for the 14th over of New Zealand's second innings, it is back to Ravichandran Ashwin, who is now facing right-hander Will Young. He has a leg slip and a short leg in place. First delivery is right arm over the wicket, and that one is played into the leg side. There is no run though. Second delivery as well. That's a good line and length from Ravichandran Ashwin, just outside off stump, relatively full, and Young plays that to the left of short leg, which should be Sarfraz Khan, I think. Next delivery is defended into the offside. There is still no run, 39 for 2 still. And Ashwin errs a bit. That is a bit too on the stumps, and it is clipped by Young into the leg side, and New Zealand take a single. As we are again seeing replays of that wicket from Washington Sundar, the last wicket to fall, Devon Conway, who was caught in the slips by Shubman Gill. Next one is an almighty hoik from Rachin Ravindra, this time the left-hander, and that one finds the mid-wicket boundary. 4 runs. It is a very loopy shot, but there is no fielder out in the deep. Seems and next delivery, Ravichandran Ashwin is coming right arm around the wicket to the left-hander Rachin Ravindra, who dances down the pitch, misses it, and is out stumped by Rishabh Pant. He has to go for 4 of 3 as he falls down flat on his face in the middle of the pitch. And this could be over very, very quickly here. New Zealand 44 for 3 now. Ravindra is very not impressed with his own performance here. Has a go at himself as he walks off. So Ravindra is gone for 4, stumped, punt, bowled Ashwin. He faced 3 deliveries, a strike rate of 133. And we have social media. Hattie the Batty. Good morning from a misty Coventry. Yes, good morning to you as well, Hattie. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, what a mad game this has been so far. New Zealand, for everyone's to refresh everyone's memory, New Zealand won the toss, elected to bat, then were all out for 235, which looked a bit suboptimal at the time. But then India made a mess of the final half of the last session of yesterday. 86 for 4 at the end of the first day, India. But then a rescue act from Rishabh Pant and Shubman Gill helped them to a 28-run lead on the first innings, which actually was a bit disappointing because they looked like they might get a much bigger lead at times during the innings, but they didn't. And now New Zealand are 44 for 3 in their second innings. Rachin Ravindra was dismissed by Ravichandran Ashwin during the last over, and he is now replaced by Daryl Mitchell, who comes in for New Zealand at number 5 as Washington Sundar continues. And he concedes a single off the first delivery of his over. As we are seeing replays again of that stumping of Rachin Ravindra, who has a very Nasser Hussainian go at himself as he has to walk off the ground. Nasser Hussain famously said after the double 100 he made in the 1997 Ashes in the first test that it was the first time he didn't have a go at himself after being dismissed, which is absolutely believable because it also means that he had a go at himself every single innings after that because he never made another double 100. So, 2 dot balls to Daryl Mitchell after that single of the first delivery of Washington Sundar's 5th over, and he comes in again, right arm around the wicket. There is a slip, there's a short leg for him, and Mitchell defends that one again into the onside, and there is no run. New Zealand remain on 45 for 3. 2 deliveries left in Washington Sundar's 5th over. We are in the 15th over of New Zealand's second innings. Their lead now 17 runs, which means basically they are 17 for 3 in effect. Mitchell is still on naught. He continues to face Washington Sundar, who changes to over the wicket now, and Mitchell plays another shot that falls just short of backward square leg or backward short leg. So, backward short leg. It's Sarfraz Khan. He is just half a meter behind the batting crease there in the leg side. Has his helmet on, everything. I have not had, just to update everyone listening, I have not heard anything about Tom Blundell, the New Zealand keeper, who was hit in the head twice yesterday. He passed all the concussion tests administered at the time, but that does not mean there is no danger. Concussion symptoms can actually develop hours after the concussive blow, and current medical research suggests that the very dangerous part about getting hit in the head is that if you receive a subconcussive blow after being concussed, that is the killer. That is what's critical in the development of CTE, which is basically boxer's dementia. There is an attempt at a sweep shot, and it hits the glove and it loops up into the air, but there is no fielder behind punt. And New Zealand take another single, 46 for 3 now. As Ravichandran Ashwin is bowling, and this one loops over Gill, who has been put in at leg slip. and it is given as leg byes as New Zealand run a couple as Ravindra Jadeja is fielding the ball just centimeters from the boundary rope back there at deep fine leg. He stops the ball with his foot, runs over the boundary rope, comes back in, picks up the ball and throws it into the middle and basically saves 2 runs there. Very good effort in the field from Jadeja, who is obviously known as one of the best fielders in world cricket at the moment. Most of these displays obviously coming in T20 matches of all varieties, but good to have someone like that in the field in a test match as well. And there is another sweep shot from Daryl Mitchell that misses both leg slip and short leg. It is fielded again at deep backward square leg by Jadeja. And there is no run. Next one is basically the same shot, and this time they take a single. No, it's an attempt. It's an attempt at a defense and gets an inside edge through. Young is now on a strike. And that is a play and a miss from Young. It hits him on the pad well outside of the line of the stumps, and it is taken at leg slip, but no one is appealing for a catch there. New Zealand, after 16 overs, are 49 for 3. Will Young is on 13 of 33, and Daryl Mitchell is 1 of 9. If you are playing Dream 11 fantasy cricket, you would have done well to include Washington Sundar in your squad, because he has the most points in a fantasy kind of sense. 158, 20 ahead of the second most valuable player, who is Ravindra Jadeja. 138 points for him. Washington Sundar continues, 6th over of his spell, and there is an inside edge from Daryl Mitchell. There is a cartwheel from short leg, who misses the ball though, and New Zealand take another single. And I'm not joking. Short leg actually did a cartwheel trying to catch that. A reverse sweep from Will Young now, and that one is fielded out in the deep by Mohammad Siraj, it seems. New Zealand take another single though, 51 for 3, as the 50 was brought up by the previous single. Will Young 14 and Daryl Mitchell 2. The lead now 23 as Washington Sundar continues, right arm over the wicket to the right-handed Mitchell, who tries to defend it, gets an outside edge, but it falls well short of the fielders, and there is no run. Washington Sundar with figures of 1 for 14 after 5.5 overs now. There is a slip, there is a short leg, there is a short third man. And there is another dot ball from Washington Sundar as Mitchell clips one into the leg side that is fielded by Zafras Khan at short leg. Next one is another attempt at a reverse sweep, but this one is fielded by Rohit at slip, who throws it to punt, who playfully brings down the wicket, but no. But Mitchell is in. There is no danger. Final delivery, right arm around the wicket, over the wicket from Washington Sundar, defended, and there is no run. Oh, sorry. All right. 51 for 3, 2 runs coming off this, the 17th over, which was bowled by Washington Sundar, who has figures of 1 for 14 from 6 overs. Daryl Mitchell is on 2 and Will Young on 14. And let's have a look at social media. Hattie the Batty, sweeps and cartwheels, gotta love that crazy game. Yes, it's actually, it was not the best of cartwheels. He didn't straighten his legs enough for that, but he actually did a cartwheel at short leg. Poor Zafras Khan, who seems to be stuck in at short leg all the time. Well, the 18th over is bowled by Ravichandran Ashwin, and he has a slip, a leg slip, and a short leg for Daryl Mitchell. And after the first delivery is taken for a single by Will Young, now he has Daryl Mitchell in his sights. There is an appeal for LBW that is not given out on the field. There is a brief discussion about reviewing that one, but everyone decides against it. Next delivery, another appeal for LBW, as Mitchell tries to defend it with a straight bat, and Ravichandran Ashwin is absolutely certain that he has his man here, but the DRS timer again ticks down without Captain Rohit making the tee. So there is no review again, as we are seeing a replay here. And Mitchell missed it completely. It strikes him on the front leg, but very, very high on the upper thigh. And it might actually also be going down the leg side. So probably a good decision not to review that one. It would have probably missed the wickets. Ashwin aborts another delivery, and now he comes in right arm over the wicket and is taken way, way downtown by Daryl Mitchell for the first 6 of the New Zealand innings, straight down the ground. That one probably too full from Ashwin. But Mitchell does very, very well to step out of his crease, negate the spin, get under that one, and absolutely belt it into the stands. 58 for 3 as Ashwin comes in again, and he bowls right arm over the wicket. And both Mitchell and Punt missed that one. There is a lot of bounce here for Ashwin, and it is given as 4 byes. There is a lot of bounce and a lot of turn. Mitchell absolutely misjudges the turn here. That turned quite a mile all across him, and Punt is also very, very surprised, is too offsidey for that delivery that spins towards the leg, and it is given as 4 byes. Final delivery of the over is defended by Daryl Mitchell, and there is no run. So New Zealand, after 18 overs, 62 for 3. Daryl Mitchell on 8 and Will Young on 15. Ravichandran Ashwin has figures of 1 for 25 from 7 overs. And I think it will be Washington Sundar to continue the bowling attack. Let's have a look at social media. Again, you can always use the YouTube chat. If you don't want to use YouTube chat, because maybe you do not have a YouTube account, but you have a Twitter account. Up top there is that's my Twitter handle, and if you have a Blue Sky account, you can also use that. That is the one below the Twitter handle. So if you want to get in touch with the stream, you are very, very welcome. And it is indeed Washington Sundar to continue his 7th over of the innings. Will Young is on strike, and Washington Sundar comes right arm over the wicket to the right-hander, who clips one off his legs. It is fielded at backward square leg by who else but Ravindra Jadeja. We are now seeing a replay of highlights, including the first 6 of the New Zealand innings. And here we have Daryl Mitchell on strike. He has a slip and a short leg in place. Rishabh Pant is standing up to the stumps for Washington Sundar as Mitchell defends one into the leg side, and there is no run. New Zealand still 63 for 3. Sundar again. Right arm over the wicket, this time a bit wider, and Mitchell goes down on one knee to sweep it, and he sweeps it for 4 over the leg side. 67 for 3 now. Yeah, that was a bit too wide from Washington Sundar, probably a bit too full as well. And Mitchell makes no mistakes. 4 runs. Next delivery is again right arm over the wicket. Better line this time from Sundar. A bit outside off stump, sure, but not as wide as the last delivery. And Mitchell defends it. There is no run. There is also a third man in place for Daryl Mitchell, which is Shubman Gill. As we are now seeing replays of the delivery from Ravichandran Ashwin that wasn't reviewed, and as I said, yes, there was a lot of spin in that, and it was a good decision by Captain Rohit Sharma not to review that one, because replays show that it would have missed the stumps. So no review lost for India there, as the final delivery of Washington Sundar's over is another dot ball, and that means after 19 overs, New Zealand remain on 67 for 3. Will Young on 16, Daryl Mitchell on 12. And Ravichandran Ashwin is to continue. This is kind of a weird thing. I was thinking, okay, this is a test match. There is going to be a lot of it's going to be a bit slower and stuff like that. But no, India decide to only bowl their spinners after Akashdeep took Captain Tom Latham's wicket early in the innings. He is the only pace bowler so far to bowl in this innings. First delivery of Ashwin's over is a dot ball as he bowls right arm around the wicket to the right-hander Will Young. Second delivery is another dot ball as Young defends. He has a slip, a leg slip, and a short leg in place. And the next one is a hoik over mid-wicket, but it is fielded out in the deep near the boundary by Washington Sundar. And New Zealand are restricted to a couple of runs here in that third delivery of Ashwin's 8th over. 69, nice. For 3 now. Young is on strike and Ashwin continues right arm around the wicket, and Young defends that one down into the pitch, and there is no run again. The current partnership has now reached 25 runs. Ashwin continues, right arm around the wicket, angles it across the right-handed Young, who defends it out into the offside this time, and there is again no run. I can't fault Rohit for bowling a lot of spin, because the pitch is breaking apart. There is quite a lot of assistance for the spinners in this, it seems. Final delivery of Ashwin's over is played to mid-on by Young, and there is a single. 70 is up for New Zealand, 70 for 3 after 20 overs now. The current partnership is 26. Will Young steals this or hawks the strike. He is 19 of 42, and Daryl Mitchell on the other hand is on 12. Socials, let's have a look. Nothing new on YouTube, nothing new on Twitter, and Blue Sky is relatively quiet as well. So, if you're watching this, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. So, yeah, and an announcement. There will be a premiere on this here channel later today, because last weekend I sat down with one of cricket Twitter's most beloved personalities, WG Rumble Pants, and he agreed very graciously to give me an interview. And I recorded that last weekend, and it will premiere here on this channel later today. Ravi Jadeja is continuing, and first delivery is a single to Will Young, and next one is left arm around the wicket to the right-handed Daryl Mitchell, who plays with a very straight bat, misses it though, and it is taken behind the stumps by punt, and there is no run. Next one, left arm around the wicket, very straight bat again from Mitchell. This time he lays bat on it, plays it into the offside, and there is a single. That brings up his 20. No, it's not. No, it's Young. Will Young is on 20. Mitchell's on 13. There is a slip. There are 2 slips for Will Young, who squeezes one out into the offside. There is no run though. Next one is played to mid-on. There is no run. Young on 20. 2 2 slips for Jadeja as he continues to bowl left arm around the wicket, and this time he sneaks one past Will Young's bat, and there is no run. End of the over. New Zealand 72 for 3. This one, actually, the last delivery of the over was a pretty good ball. No chance for the batsman there. And actually, Rishabh Pant does very well to collect that cleanly. He has not had the best of tests in this match, one has to say. A few drops from Pant in this match. He conceded a few byes here in this second innings of New Zealand. Looked relatively ordinary at times, but he made up for it with the bat in India's first innings, rescuing them from 86 for 4. As Ravichandran Ashwin continues to Daryl Mitchell, right arm over the wicket. Mitchell goes down on one knee. Again, reverse sweep from him. And there is an appeal for LBW, and this time Ravichandran Ashwin can convince his captain Rohit Sharma to send it upstairs and review the not out decision that was given on the field. Let's have a look. New Zealand 72 for 3. Original decision is not out. Here comes the replay. We are seeing Mitchell down on one knee with a reverse sweep. He misses it completely. The ball bounces over his bat, hits him in the crotch or just below the crotch. And this one looks very dangerous for the New Zealander here. As we are seeing Captain Gautam Gambhir on the balcony. Now we are seeing Ultra Edge, and there is no spike on Ultra Edge as the ball passes the bat. Then we see a big spike as it hits him in the crotch. And ball tracking tells us that the impact is outside, and that means India lose a review. The decision of not out is upheld though, and Ravichandran Ashwin can't believe that Mitchell stepped so far to the offside that the impact was outside the line there. A few cringing faces in the Indian team after they see the ball tracking replay on the big screen at the ground. Ravichandran Ashwin continues right arm over the wicket, and this one is a sweep shot that evades leg slip and is fielded by fine leg. And New Zealand take another single. 73 for 3 now. Will Young on strikes. He is on 20 of 46. The lead for New Zealand now 45 runs. Ashwin with figures of 1 for 29 from 8.2 overs. Third delivery. And that one is defended into the leg side by Will Young. Sarfraz Khan at short leg is fielding that one, and there is no run. Next delivery by Ashwin. Again, right arm around the over the wicket. This time bowling in a wider line outside off stump, and this one is squeezed out into the offside by Will Young. Looked like an outside edge, and New Zealand take a single as the man from slip is running after that to field it, because there is no point. Next delivery is defended into the onside, and there is no run. Ravichandran Ashwin is varying his speed in this over relatively extremely. I would say the first 3 deliveries were in the mid to high 90s, and the last 3 deliveries in the low to mid 80s. That's kilometers per hour, not miles. He is, after all, a spinner and not a cutter bowler. 2 runs from the 22nd over. New Zealand 74 for 3 now. And let's have a look. Nothing on YouTube. And do we have anyone with us on Twitter? Nope. Anything on Blue Sky? Nope. Okay. Let's have a look at some of the stats. Now, the scorecard. Yes, three wickets fell thus far in New Zealand's second over. All 3 wickets taken by different bowlers. The only one to be unlucky thus far for India is Ravindra Jadeja. He'll be fine with that. He took a 5-er in the first innings, so that's probably okay for him. Akashdeep made the first breakthrough. He dismissed Tom Latham for 1. He is the only pace bowler to have bowled so far in New Zealand's second innings. Washington Sundar has 1, as does Ravichandran Ashwin. 74 for 3 New Zealand. The lead is 46 runs. India will probably be very, very happy with how it's going in this second New Zealand innings. There is a lot of support for the spinners in this pitch. It's turning. There is bounce on offer. Ravichandran Ashwin got some amazing bounce during this second innings. And it looks like there is a drinks break, and I will also take a short drinks break, and I will be back with you in a minute. And we are back. Jadeja to continue, and his first delivery is played out for a dot by Will Young. And the next one is left arm around the wicket to the right-hander Will Young, and Jadeja loses his length a bit there, allowing Will Young to get under that and lofting it over his head for a six, second six of the innings. That is a great shot by Will Young. Didn't have to use his feet that much. Just plants his front foot and lofts Jadeja. 80 up for New Zealand, 80 for 3. Will Young on 27 of 50. Daryl Mitchell 14 of 30. Jadeja with figures of none for 10 from 2.2 overs. Looking a bit distraught here. He's throwing the ball to the umpire, probably to ask if the ball has to be changed. That was a 78-meter 6 from Will Young. Apparently, the ball is okay by the umpire's reckoning. And the next one is left arm around the wicket. And this one is a single to long off from Young. And New Zealand take a single, 81 for 3. And next delivery, left arm around the wicket, but Jadeja aborts his delivery. The ball is declared dead, and in he comes again. And this one is played towards cover by Daryl Mitchell, where it is fielded by KL Rahul, who is on as a substitute fielder. But I don't know for whom. Anyway, the result is a couple for Daryl Mitchell. 2 slips now for Daryl Mitchell. And Jadeja sneaks one past his outside edge, which is taken cleanly by punt. Who moves his hands towards the stumps, but doesn't break them because Mitchell did not step out of his crease. Next one is an attempt at a drive. He gets an outside edge, plays it backwards of point. The fielder in the deep comes around, fields it. There is a single. So Daryl Mitchell retains the strike after 23 overs. New Zealand are 84 for 3. Mitchell on a 17, Young on 28, and Ravi Ashwin is brought back into the is continuing his spell. As we are now seeing the lineup for New Zealand. Blundell at 6, Phillips at 7, Sodhi at 8, Henry at 9, Ayaz Patel at 10, and William O'Rourke bringing up the rear. He's a tail ender, if I ever saw one. Averages 1.7 with the bat in Test cricket. Ashwin, his 10th over, right arm over the wicket, and this one is played out to mid-wicket by Mitchell, and New Zealand take a single, 85 for 3. The lead is 57 runs now. Young on strike now. Ashwin continues over the wicket. He has a slip, a leg slip, and a short leg for the right-handers in place. And this one spins, bounces. Young misses it. It hits him in the box. But that is too high. There is no appeal for LBW. Next one, defended by Young out into the leg side. And again, there is no run. Fourth delivery of the over. Again, defended into the leg side by Young. Safras Khan at short leg is fielding that. Again, no run. Fifth delivery from Ashwin. He has found his length and his line, and there is nothing to do for Young but to defend it towards short leg. No run. And final delivery, right arm over the wicket and a sweep from Young, but that is fielded at backward square leg. And again, there is no run. New Zealand 85 for 3. The lead is 57 runs. 24 overs have been bowled in the second innings of New Zealand. A single run coming from that 24th over. The 10th of Ravichandran Ashwin. He has figures of 1 for 31. Mitchell on 18, Young on 28, and Jadeja continues. Left arm around the wicket and defended by Mitchell into the onside. There is no run. I will tell you the field once I see it again. Yes, there is a fine leg, 2 slips, and Mitchell goes down on one knee, tries to sweep it, misses it, and again there is no run, as Jadeja, as is basically customary for left arm spinners in India, bowls this one around the wicket. There is cover, there is a backward point, and this one is played out into the offside, and it is fielded at deep point, and there is a single. And we are now seeing who made the most boundaries, most fours in this match. Rishabh Pant with 8, Shubman Gill with 7, and Daryl Mitchell now has 4. Another single taken by Young after Mitchell took a single in the delivery before that. 2 more to go in Ravindra Jadeja's 4th over of the innings. Mitchell on strike, New Zealand lead by 59 runs, 2 slips, and he bowls left arm around the wicket to the right-handed Mitchell, who defends that into the offside, and there is no run. We have deep point, we have backward point. There is a lot of protection in the offside for Ravindra Jadeja here. But even all that protection can't protect him from Daryl Mitchell taking a couple into the offside towards deep cover. 89 for 3 now, New Zealand. Young on 29, Mitchell on 21. Jadeja, after 4 overs, has figures of none for 18. The lead is 61. Let's see if we have any more social media messages. Nothing on YouTube. Let's see if Blue Sky or Twitter have anything. Doesn't look like it. Anyway, yeah, if you want to get in touch with the stream, you can always use the YouTube chat, or you can use social media. There is my Twitter handle, that's the top one, and Blue Sky, that's the bottom one. Write in, what are your predictions? What's going to happen here? Will New Zealand win the series? And well, they did. They already have won the series, but will they be able to cleanly sweep India at home, which would be quite a feat. Ashwin is continuing now, and first delivery, there is an attempt at a stumping by Rishabh Pant, but Young did not lift his back foot. He remains safe. Next delivery is played into his own chest. He gets the shoulder of the bat to the ball, plays it into his own stomach or lower rib cage, and there is no run. Third delivery is another dot ball into the leg side from Young. Ravichandran Ashwin is not looking happy with Sarfaraz Khan at short leg here. Ashwin has a leg slip, a slip, and a short leg. Four consecutive dot balls in his 11th over. New Zealand can't make it to 90. This one is driven towards mid-off, and Ashwin actually misses the ball trying to field it, trying to stop it, can't get a hand to it, and that brings New Zealand as a team into the nervous 90s. 90 for 3 now. Young's 30 is up, and Mitchell is on strike for the final delivery of the 11th over of Ravichandran Ashwin, who bowls right arm over the wicket, and it is defended into the ground by Daryl Mitchell, and there is no run. New Zealand, 26 overs gone, 90 for 3. Let's have a look at how many overs are still to be bowled in the day. 21 overs remaining to be bowled in the day, and looks like there is a change at the other end. Washington Sundar is brought back into the attack by Captain Rohit Sharma. He has bowled 7 overs so far in the innings. His figures are 1 for 19. And we are now seeing the average turn for spinners in this match. New Zealand in the first innings got 4.6 degrees, and India in the second innings got 5 degrees. So spin will be key for the rest of the match, one would assume. Which is not necessarily a good thing for India, who have been outspun by New Zealand in this series so far. So there's that. Sundar begins tidily enough. There is a dot ball to start his second spell as he bowls right arm over the wicket, and this one is a bit too short, and it allows Young to pull that. There is a couple, and there seems to be a bit of a confusion in the field as Yashasvi Jaiswal fields the ball in the deep, throws it back into the middle. And yes, and Washington Sundar misses it. Rohit Sharma, backing him up, misses it as well. And that's the reason the New Zealanders took a couple there, because they took another run on the misfield. They originally only ran the single, then ran another run on the misfield. So 92 for 3. Young on strike 32. and Mitchell 21. The current partnership is nearing 50. It is currently 48 of 74 runs. Sundar, third delivery of the over. Right arm over the wicket, and this one is defended towards short leg by Will Young. There is no run. We're now seeing on the screen an overlay showing us that short leg, which is Sarfraz Khan, is actually 4 meters away from the batsman. So very, very close. A sweep from Young brings him another single, and New Zealand move on to 93 for 3. The current partnership now 49. 50 is oh so tantalizingly close. 2 deliveries left in Washington Sundar's 8th over. He changes to right arm around the wicket, angling it across Mitchell, who defends it, and there is no run. 1 delivery to come in the over from Washington Sundar. Right arm over the wicket, angled across Mitchell, who defends it into the offside. Sundar does not field it, leaves that task to Ravichandran Ashwin at mid-off. But New Zealand do not take a single. 93 for 3 after 27 overs, 49 still the partnership. Mitchell is on 21, Young is on 33. Young is now on strike as Virat Kohli has the ball in his hands, but I don't expect him to bowl his Mr. Krabs like loopy medium pace. Who is it? I think it is Ashwin to continue. Let's have a look. We are currently seeing the bowler from the stump cam, which is a very, very wide angle lens. Doesn't really help you. No, it's Jadeja. Doesn't really help you to see the bowler very well, because the camera, first of all, it's very low, down to the very low, close to the ground, and then it's a very wide angled lens, so it distorts everything. Jadeja, he is coming in. He bowls left arm around the wicket. There are 2 slips in place for Young, who plays it out into the offside, where it is fielded at cover by Virat Kohli, and there is no run. Next one, again played into the offside, and again there is no run. Young continues into the offside. This one is a not very convincing drive, but it is fielded at long off by Mohammad Siraj. 94 for 3, and that brings up the 50 partnership for Will Young and Daryl Mitchell. 4th wicket partnership, 50 of 81 deliveries. Jadeja, halfway through his 5th over, has figures of none for 19, and now it is Daryl Mitchell on strike. Jadeja bowls one left arm around the wicket on the stumps, and it is defended into the leg side by Daryl Mitchell. It is fielded by Jadeja himself, and there is no run. Wider outside the off stump, but again he misses his line and is lofted high into the air by Daryl Mitchell, but this one is not far enough, as Ravichandran Ashwin is under that one and he takes a tumbling catch, and Daryl Mitchell is dismissed for 21 of 44 deliveries. He is out caught. Ashwin bowled Jadeja, and that breaks the 50 partnership for the fourth wicket. As we are seeing replays, Mitchell gets under it, but he only gets the toe end of the bat on that one, and no mistakes made by Ravichandran Ashwin in the outfield, who throws the ball into the air and is immediately hugged by Mohammad Siraj, who is fielding close to him there. Jadeja, high fives, Virat Kohli, and Shubman Gill. Mitchell gone for 21 of 44 deliveries. That's a strike rate of 48. And New Zealand are 94 for 4. Say that fast 3 times. So let's have another look. Again, if you want to get in touch with the stream, you can always use the YouTube chat, or you can use social media. Twitter and Blue Sky both are possibilities. If you got any predictions, anything to say, you are very, very welcome. I will read out your social media messages, mostly between overs. Let's have a look at what is happening in the match. It is, I think it's Tom Blundell at 6 for New Zealand, out into the middle now. Yes, it is. Blundell is out in the middle. Final delivery of Jadeja's 5th over. And let's see what we have. Blundell, there is silly point and 2 slips, and Blundell scoops Jadeja over the head of Rishabh Pant, and he finds the boundary. First delivery, New Zealand 98 for 4, and Blundell is off the mark. First delivery with a 4. That also means that the lead by New Zealand is now 70 runs. Will Young is on 34 not out and Blundell on 4 not out. There are 19 overs left in the day. Which I'm not sure they will get all of them in, because there is basically an hour left. And they're, well, they might actually get them in. They're bowling a lot of spin, and Jadeja is getting through his overs very, very quickly. As is Washington Sundar, to be fair. He is in for his 9th over. He is bowling to Will Young. A single slip, a single slip and a short leg. And there is no run. Second delivery, right arm over the wicket, played into the offside towards cover, and there is a single there. As we are seeing replays again of that catch that Ravichandran Ashwin took, tumbling down, losing his sunglasses, but not the ball. Leg slip in now for Washington Sundar, for Tom Blundell, and he bowls right arm over the wicket, and it is turned into the leg side, and there is no run. The next one, right arm over the wicket, an attempt at a reverse sweep, and no run. We are now seeing a graphic showing us the distance covered by Ravichandran Ashwin for that catch. He ran 19 meters to take that catch. That was Daryl Mitchell who was dismissed there. Very good fielding by Ravichandran Ashwin there. Sundar continues right arm over the wicket. 4 consecutive dots now for him. End of the over. New Zealand can't make it 3 figures of Washington Sundar. They are 99 for 4 after 29 overs, as we are seeing Captain Rohit Sharma in conversation with Ravichandran Ashwin. And I think it was Sundar. We have a bit of a summary for the session. 20 overs have been bowled this session. 73 runs have been taken, as well as 3 wickets. The run rate is 3.65 in this session. New Zealand, 99 for 4. As Jadeja continues, and he is bowling to Young. Left arm around the wicket, and there is appreciable spin as Young looks to defend, but it spins past the outside edge of his bat, and there is no run. Next one is played out to point though, and New Zealand take a single as Akashdeep is fielding that one in the deep. And that brings up the 100 for New Zealand. And next one is left arm around the wicket to Blundell, who looks to defend it, misses it, and is out. That's bowled Jadeja. Blundell has to go for 4, bowled Jadeja. Let's have a look at that wicket again. He gets a toe end of the bat on that and plays it into his own stumps. That is too bad for Tom Blundell as he chops on, has to go 4 of 6, and New Zealand are 100 for 5. They are in real danger here to get bowled out in this session, because I think their tail is relatively long and spectacular, in the sense that there are quite a few bunnies in there. Not only Will O'Rourke, who sports a batting average of 1.7 in tests. I'm not sure. Is that less than Pomi Mbangwa, who famously has a very very I think the lowest batting average in tests by anyone who has played a significant number of matches. Something like that. Who else comes to mind from New Zealand? Obviously Chris Martin. Great bowler. And I think one of 2 bowlers in Test history to have taken more wickets than they made runs. Chris Martin, I think, is one of two bowlers that has accomplished that feat. Anyway, Glenn Phillips is in at number 7 for New Zealand, and he will have to face Jadeja. There are 2 slips in place for him, and Jadeja bowls left arm around the wicket to the right-hander, and this one is played into the leg side by Phillips, and he is off the mark. First ball with a single, 101 for 5. Young on strike, and he looks to defend it, but he plays inside the line, and he is very, very lucky to not get a thin outside edge on that delivery from Jadeja, as it spins viciously. That spins viciously, and the next one is again defended, but it drizzles out into the leg side, and Rishabh Pant is running after it from behind the stumps. Young looked for the single there, but he is sent back by Phillips from the non-striker's end. And that concludes the 30th over of the innings. New Zealand 101 for 5. And we are now seeing the Indian dressing room. Gautam Gambhir looking very relaxed, sitting there in a very large armchair. Looks almost like a lawn chair. He looks very, very small in it. He looks pretty relaxed. In stark contrast to what the dressing room of the New Zealanders looks like. Someone sitting there with eyes wide open. Maybe some illicit substances have been smuggled into the ground, or if no illicit substances are involved, that man is probably close to a lethal dose of caffeine. First delivery of the next over is hammered for 6 over the leg side by Phillips, as Sundar misses both his line and his length, and New Zealand move on to 107 for 5. Phillips on 7 of 3. But good comeback from Sundar in the next delivery. There is no run. Next delivery is played to the left of short leg. It's Sarfraz Khan there, who misfields it initially. Can get the ball under control in the second attempt though, and there is no run. Fourth delivery of the over is played back towards the bowler by Phillips, and again, no run. The lead, 79 runs for New Zealand now, as Sundar bowls very wide outside, and that is also a bit too short, and it is hacked at by Phillips, and there is a single in that one. That is a bit too short from Sundar here, and also a bit too wide outside the off stump. That means the New Zealand lead is now 80, and Will Young is on strike, who goes down on one knee, attempts a sweep, misses it though, and it is taken behind the stumps by Rishabh Pant, and there is no run. 108 for 5 New Zealand. As we are seeing the fall of the wickets now, the first fell on 2, the second on 39, the third on 44, the fourth on 94, and the fifth on an even 100. 80 runs the lead for New Zealand. India will absolutely back themselves to chase anything New Zealand are likely to post from here. There was a bit of a lull from the Indian perspective after the third wicket. That was the partnership for the fourth wicket between Young and Daryl Mitchell. That was the one partnership in this New Zealand innings that was worth 50 or more. Jadeja to continue to Phillips, who takes a single off the first delivery, bringing Young onto strike, who squeezes one towards the slips, and there is no run. He tries to cut the ball from on the back foot, almost chops on because he plays the shot too late. Absolutely missing the timing there, and is very, very lucky that he gets a toe end and not an under edge to that one. Next delivery, he goes down on one knee and sweeps Jadeja behind square on the leg side, and there is another boundary. Four runs for New Zealand, 113 for 5. Next one is played out to point, and New Zealand take a single. As we are again seeing replays of that Daryl Mitchell wicket. I mean, it was a really good catch by Ravichandran Ashwin. The ball was very, very high in the air. He had to cover a lot of ground, around 20 meters there. And Phillips is looking to be in the mood as he drives Jadeja over his head for another 4 runs. Relatively expensive over this from Jadeja, as there is no protection down the ground. The last 24 deliveries have yielded 24 runs for New Zealand. They have also yielded a wicket for India, but that is besides the point. Another single to Phillips as New Zealand move on to 119 for 5. 11 runs of the 32nd over, New Zealand 119 for 5. Let's see if we have any social media interactions. Again, if you want to get in touch with the stream, you can do so. The easiest way is probably using the YouTube chat. You can always do that. But as you can see on the screen over there, at LinuxLea on Twitter and at linuxlea.bsky.social on Blue Sky. There you go. What are your predictions? Write me. I will read out. I will talk to you any day. Ravichandran Ashwin is back, and Glenn Phillips is taking a liking to him because the first delivery is a 6 straight down the ground on the onside. That is the 4th 6 of the innings, if I am not mistaken. Next one is defended by Phillips back towards Ashwin, who feels it. 125 for 5. A triple figure lead is in sight for New Zealand. 3 away now. And again, Phillips belts Ashwin over his head. Same shot as the last one. And the result is also the same. And that means New Zealand are leading by 103 runs now as Phillips hits another 6. Virat Kohli in replays is looking after that. He can't believe it. That was a pretty good shot from Glenn Phillips. Next one, right arm over the wicket. Very leg sidey, and Phillips looks to guide it towards fine leg. There is an appeal for caught behind from the bowler. There is a bit of a discussion between the keeper Rishabh Pant and captain Rohit Sharma, but the DRS counter ticks down without anyone making the signal to send this one upstairs. And we are now seeing replays. It's probably a good decision not to send it upstairs because while there is a sound, it is because Ashwin hits Phillips's upper thigh on the way through. Next one. Ravichandran Ashwin coming in, right arm over the wicket, and that has bowled him. That has bowled Phillips, and he has to go. The 6th wicket for New Zealand is down as Ravichandran Ashwin bowls a doosra that beats Glenn Phillips outside edge. That's a very good doosra from Ashwin. A lot of turn in that delivery, and it takes the tops of off and middle of Glenn Phillips, and he has to go. Clean bowled as well by Ravichandran Ashwin. Phillips has to go for 26, bowled Ashwin. 14 deliveries, a strike rate of 185.71. Let's have a look if we have any more social media messages. Again, you can always write in. I would be delighted if you did, because I have to admit, it kind of makes my job a bit easier. Because it fills the breaks between overs and stuff like that. So please use the YouTube chat, write on other social media, Twitter or Blue Sky. You can see the handles on the screen now. The top one obviously is Twitter, and the bottom one is Blue Sky. I don't know what Anindo is doing. Maybe he has a bit. Well, I mean, probably he's a bit distracted because he is at the ground today. Hope he's having a good time. So let's have a look. And it's another drinks break, and I will be back with you shortly. And we are back after drinks. One delivery in Ravichandran Ashwin's 12th over to go. Ish Sodhi is in at 8 for New Zealand, and he will face the final delivery of Ravichandran Ashwin's over. Ashwin has figures of 2 for 44 now. New Zealand 131 for 6, and the first delivery from Ravichandran Ashwin is clipped into the leg side by Ish Sodhi, and there is no run. So, let's have a look at that. Sodhi clips it into the leg side. It hits Safras Khan on the finger and then the right pad as he is standing at short leg. And there is no run. Seems to have hurt his right index finger there a bit. We are seeing him look at it and fiddle around with it between overs as Jadeja is coming back into the attack. 2 slips for him as he bowls left arm around the wicket to Young, who looks to defend, but again is beaten by spin on the outside, and Rishabh Pant takes it cleanly. Again, a lot of turn for Jadeja here, and he can't believe that he actually missed the bat of Will Young here. New Zealand 131 for 6. The lead is 103 as another dot ball is played out by Young. And the third delivery from Jadeja is shorter. There is a lot of bounce. Young looks to cut, misses it, and again is quite lucky to not get a top edge here. Fourth delivery of the over, left arm around the wicket. Young goes down on one knee, looks to sweep it, misses it. Pant catches it, takes off the bails, but Young did not move his back foot, securely planted behind the crease, and there is no run. And again, left arm around the wicket. Young looks to defend, it spins viciously, misses the outside edge of the bat. Pant takes it. And the pressure on the New Zealand batsman is building. It's basically just a matter of time before one of them gets an outside edge to Jadeja here. He is looking very good here. Jadeja, as the final delivery of the over is played out for another dot ball, and that ends the 34th over. New Zealand are 131 for 6. Young is on 41 of 85. Sodhi is on a duck, and Ashwin is back. It's probably that must be the stuff of nightmares for international batsmen, being out in the middle, Jadeja from one end, Ashwin from the other, on a turning track in the subcontinent. And Ashwin comes in, right arm over the wicket, right arm over the wicket, and it is played out into the leg side by Ish Sodhi, who is off his duck. He's on the way. A single into the leg side. It is fielded at mid-wicket, and New Zealand move on to 132 for 6. Young is back on strike, 41 not out. The lead is 104 runs. There is a slip and a short leg for Young, who has to face Ravi Ashwin. And this one is guided towards backward square leg, where it is fielded by Ravi Jadeja on the boundary, and New Zealand take a couple. And now we are seeing replays of some Indian and some New Zealand wickets to fall earlier in the match, in the day, as Ashwin continues bowling stump to stump. Young looks to flick that, misses it, and punt takes it down the leg side, but there is no bat involved and there is no run. And there is, again, the replays show it very, very clearly. There's a lot of spin for Ravichandran Ashwin here on this track. And the New Zealand batsmen are not looking very comfortable here. Young on strike. There is now a leg gully right next to short leg and a slip. Young squeezes one out towards that short leg. That's Sarfraz Khan at short leg. And he can't stop it cleanly there, and New Zealand get a single. Final delivery of Ravichandran Ashwin's 13th over, and this one is driven, and it finds the boundary as it evades the fielder at cover, and there is a boundary in the over. New Zealand 139 for 6. Young is on 44 and Ish Sodhi is on 5. That's the first boundary of the innings for Ish Sodhi. The lead is Nelson, 111 runs. Young is on strike and he will have to face the 9th over that is bowled by Ravi Jadeja. 139 for 6 after 35 overs New Zealand, as we are again seeing, just as we did yesterday, the floodlight towers. And I think a third of the floodlights on this particular tower are now turned on. As Young plays one out towards point, there is a single in that. As we are now again seeing replays of that Sodhi boundary. Sodhi is now back on strike as Jadeja continues 2 slips for Ravi Jadeja bowling to Ish Sodhi, left arm around the wicket, and this one is squeezed out into the offside, but there is no run. Next one a bit more on the stumps, and that one is driven by Ish Sodhi and fielded at long off, and New Zealand take a single. Jadeja continues, left arm around the wicket, defended back towards the bowler by Will Young, and there is no run. Left arm around the wicket, and again a lot of spin as Young looks to defend, and there is a bit of an appeal for a caught behind, but I think once again Jadeja is getting too much spin here. And yes, the replays show he snuck one past Will Young's outside edge. Next one, Young goes down on one knee, sweeps Jadeja behind square on the leg side, and that is 4 runs. New Zealand 145 for 6. Young on 49. The 50 is so close. Sodhi at the other end is on 6 of 5. The lead is 117. Let's have a look at if there is any more social media. That doesn't seem to be anything on YouTube, but you can also reach me over on Twitter if you don't have a YouTube account and can't chat or something like that. The handles for Twitter and Blue Sky are on your screen right now. Please write me. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think? What will happen in this match as Ashwin continues bowling to Sodhi? First delivery is a dot ball, but Sodhi can take a single off the second ball as it is fielded by deep mid wicket. Sodhi now on 7 of 7, Young on strike, probably looking for his 50. Let's see if he can reach his 50 in this Ravichandran Ashwin over. His first delivery of the over is right arm over the wicket, and it is defended by Young, and there is no run. Ashwin loops that lovely through the air, but Young can clip it into the leg side. There is his 50. He raises the bat towards the dressing room. There is applause from the players out on the balcony. And Ish Sodhi congratulates his batting partner for his 50. 50 of 95 deliveries. Ashwin in bowling to Sodhi, and again there is a lot of spin in that. He bowled it wide outside the off stump. It pitches and viciously spins into Sodhi, who can only defend it. Next delivery, though, is a single from Sodhi into the offside. So he retains the strike. Now shielding his batting partner, Will Young. After 37 overs, New Zealand are 148 for 6. 3 runs came from this, the 14th over to be bowled by Ravichandran Ashwin in the innings. 2 for 55, his figures thus far. 4 more wickets for India to take. And Jadeja is back as the lead of New Zealand is now 120 runs. 2 slips for Jadeja as he bowls to Sodhi, and Sodhi again tries to defend it, but again Jadeja gets too much turn. The ball spins past Ish Sodhi's outside edge. And the second delivery is basically a repeat. Again, this is Jadeja is putting it. He's a very accurate bowler, and here on this pitch he actually gets a lot of spin. He doesn't have to rely on bowling darts here. Something a lot of people fault him for. He doesn't have to do that here. And what happened here? Next delivery. It looks like business as usual. Jadeja bowls left arm around the wicket. Sodhi looks to defend with a very, very straight bat. The ball spins past the bat, and for some reason the bails have come off. Has he been bowled? No, it's Rishabh Pant with lightning reflexes, taking the catch, removing the bails, but Ish Sodhi has his back foot planted. and the appeal on the field from both Jadeja and Pant is turned down as the umpire replaces the bails. But there is no run. Pressure is building here, especially since there has been a lot of turn in this track, and therefore it is basically just a question of not if, but when one of the spinners will get an edge, and Ish Sodhi is gone. Ish Sodhi is gone. Going for a shot, and he is out, caught at point by Virat Kohli. Very, very flat shot, and Kohli dives to his left, takes a diving catch, and Jadeja is elated that he has taken another wicket. Ish Sodhi has to go for 8 of 14. He's out, caught Kohli, bowled Jadeja, and to quote Bumble, David Lloyd, the end is nigh. New Zealand now 7 down for 148 runs. The lead is 120 runs. And that brings out Matt Henry at number 9 for New Zealand. Interesting. The spinners have taken all New Zealand wickets to fall except for the first one. That was Captain Tom Latham, and it was taken by Akash Deep early in the innings. 2 runs had been on the board for New Zealand at the time. Jadeja continues, bowls the final delivery of his over, and there is no run. 38 overs gone, 148 for 7. Young now on strike to face Ravichandran Ashwin. Young is on 50 of 95 deliveries. And he is probably the only thing standing between a quick end to the innings and the Indian bowling attack. India will absolutely back themselves to chase a small-ish target like 150 runs, but the batsmen can't be complacent. There has been a lot of shithousery in this very test again, and in the series they have been outspun by New Zealand. So let us see what Ayas Patel and Rachin Ravindra, or what they can do here on this turning track. As we are seeing a replay of that Virat Kohli catch. His whites are he's very dirty. He's a very dirty boy. Virat Kohli. A lot of brown dust on his whites. First delivery of Ravichandran Ashwin's 15th over is a single, And the second one is another single, this time to Henry, who is off the mark now. Young is back on strike. 150 up for New Zealand. And there is an appeal for, I think, that is an appeal for caught behind of the third delivery. Ravi Ashwin is very, very convinced. Rohit Sharma is in conversation with Rishabh Pant and Sarfraz Khan, and the timer is ticking down and no one is reviewing that. A reminder, India lost a review earlier in the innings, meaning they now have 2 left. And judging from the replays, there is neither bat nor glove involved, as Rishabh Pant takes it cleanly, so probably good not to review that one. Young took the hand off the bat, and this one is... what is happening here? Will Young goes down on one knee, tries to sweep. The ball loops up into the air. Both Rishabh Pant behind the stumps and Sarfraz Khan at short leg going for it. In the end, Sarfraz Khan is coming away with it. He's lying on his stomach, holding the ball. There is an appeal. And replays show now that Young missed the ball. Pant dives to his left, can't grab it. It loops up into the air, and Sarfraz Khan from short leg is coming around, taking the ball. But doesn't matter, because final delivery of Ravichandran Ashwin's over is the end of Will Young. He is out. 51 caught and bowled Ravichandran Ashwin as he chips one straight back to the bowler, and that's it. Yes, very, very easy chance for Ravichandran Ashwin, as Will Young can't get the meat of the bat behind that shot, and he basically it's catching practice for Ravichandran Ashwin, this one. The 8th wicket of New Zealand falls. Will Young 51 caught and bowled Ravichandran Ashwin. New Zealand are 150 for 8. The lead is 122 runs, and that brings Ajaz Patel out into the middle for New Zealand. The only man to ever take all 10 wickets in an innings in tests in a match that his team lost. Did it against India as well during the last tour that New Zealand played in the in India. His highest score is 35. His average is 10.06. But Matt Henry is currently on strike and will have to face the 11th over of Ravindra Jadeja. He's on 1. New Zealand 150 for 8. Two slips in place for Jadeja as Henry plays a lofted drive towards long off, and New Zealand, I think, take a single. Yes, New Zealand take indeed a single. Let's have a look. Yes, the lead moves on to 123. Ajaz Patel on strike now, his first delivery in New Zealand's second innings. And Jadeja bowls left arm around the wicket. And Ajaz Patel, the left-hander, looks like he tries to guide that down to fine leg or flick it off his pads, but it misses by a mile, misses the ball by a mile as it spins viciously. It spins so viciously that Rishabh Pant also misses it completely, and it goes down as 4 byes. 155 for 8 now. And there is a flick to deep square leg by Ajaz Patel, and New Zealand take a single. Henry is back on strike. Jadeja has figures of 3 for 44 from 10.3 overs. And New Zealand lead by 128. Two slips for Matt Henry, who tries a filthy hack at that, misses it completely. Punt takes it and removes the bails, but Matt Henry never moved his back foot out of the crease. There is no run though. And Henry lofts one over the head of Ravindra Jadeja, and that one is a 6, 162 for 8. Matt Henry on 8 of 5. Yeah, that's a proper bowler's shot, a proper tail-ender shot. Absolutely a T20 kind of shot that Matt Henry played there. That goes for 6. Final delivery of Jadeja's 11th over is a dot ball, and as he retrieves his white-brimmed sun hat from the umpire and his sunglasses, he seems a bit cross with himself. That didn't go according to plan, one would think. Anyway, let's have a look if anyone is with us over on YouTube. Remember, you can always use the YouTube chat if you want to get in touch with the stream. I'd be delighted if you did. Or you can use Blue Sky and Twitter. The handles are on the screen. The top one, obviously, is for Twitter. The lower one is for Blue Sky. Ashwin is back to the left-hander Ajaz Patel, and he bowls right arm around the wicket. There are 2 slips in place for Ajaz Patel, and the first one is a dot ball. New Zealand lead by 134. Next one, right arm around the wicket, and a very exaggerated leave from Ajaz Patel, and Ravichandran Ashwin can't believe that missed the stumps, but it did. It was taken by Punt behind the stumps cleanly though. And there are now 3 dot balls of the first 3 deliveries from Ajaz Patel, as the next one is taken down the leg side by Punt. Or towards the leg side by Punt, as Ajaz Patel tries to sweep Ashwin out of the ground. Misses it though. 162 for 8 still the score. New Zealand lead by 134 runs. Ashwin again and defended by Ayaz Patel, and this is probably I would say the first shot that looks competent that Patel has played. Next delivery is a sweep by Ayaz Patel. It doesn't look that competent, but that doesn't matter because it's out of here. 6 runs over square leg for Ayaz Patel. That shot was all strength. Didn't look, the technique didn't look that good. Doesn't matter. 168 for 8, and it doesn't. And so, yes, they won't be unhappy with the final delivery of the over being a dot ball. 6 runs to come off that. Henry now on strike. He is on 8 of 6. Ayaz Patel is on 7 of 8. The lead for New Zealand is 140 runs. The biggest partnership for New Zealand in this innings was the 4th one. That was a partnership of exactly 50. And currently, the partnership for the 9th wicket is worth 19. As Ravindra Jadeja continues, and he keeps smiling in disbelief, grinning in disbelief in this innings, as he gets vicious turn. He has taken 3 wickets, mind you, but there have been so many deliveries that just missed the outside edge for Jadeja. It is actually amazing as Henry pulls him, as Jadeja kind of misjudges his length. A single, and Ayaz Patel is back on strike as New Zealand move on to 169 for 8. The lead is 141 runs. 3 more deliveries left in the over. There are some discussions as Captain Rohit Sharma puts in Sarfraz Khan at short leg again. He himself stays at slip. And Ayaz Patel leaves one that is really bouncy. And there is no run. Jadeja continues around the wicket to the left-hander here. There is an appeal for LBW. The umpire is unmoved and Rohit Sharma doesn't look like he will use a review here. And indeed he doesn't. Next one is defended back into the leg side by Ayaz Patel, and there is no run again. Let's have a look how many overs are left in the day. Five overs remaining in the day, apparently. What's going on? Oh, Jadeja has overstepped in that final delivery. It is a no ball, and what's going on here? Jadeja has to bowl another delivery, and it looks like Ayaz Patel has nicked off to short leg, the original decision is out, but New Zealand have reviewed it. We are now seeing the replay. Jadeja bowls left arm around the wicket. Patel looking to flick, but it doesn't look like he hit it. It hits him high on the pad. There is now Ultra Edge on screen, and there is no spike on Ultra Edge. He clearly missed that with the bat. Let's have a look. No, there is no spike. Absolutely no spike. Now ball tracking is coming up, and it's pitching in line. It is impact umpire's call, and it's missing the wickets. It's missing the wickets. The original decision has been overturned, and Ayaz Patel is not out on review. New Zealand 170 for 8. And the lead is 142. Interesting development here. As after all that spin and after all the success the Indian spinners have had over the last during this session, India are bringing back pace. It's Akashdeep. Akashdeep playing in his 5th test match. He has figures of 1 for 9 from 4 overs after opening the bowling. Let's see. Again, there is the replay. The original decision. Okay. Impact. Umpire's call. Wait. Didn't they just show that he gave it out and New Zealand reviewed it? I thought New Zealand reviewed that. They said it on screen, but let's have a look. No, they made an error just now. The original decision was out, and New Zealand reviewed it, not India. Anyway, Akashdeep is back in the attack to the right-handed Henry. There is a slip, there is a gully, and Henry can't do anything with that delivery. And there is no run. New Zealand 170 for 8. The lead is 142 runs. Ayaz Patel is on 7 of 12. Matt Henry is on 9 of 10 as Akashdeep comes back in. Right arm over the wicket. Henry squeezes that one out into the offside. There is a bit of an appeal from Akashdeep, but that is very, very speculative. I think Henry got bad on that. No, he did not. He tried. He got hit on the back leg. And I think because of the angle, it would have gone down leg. Anyway, no runs in the first 2 deliveries of the over. Akashdeep is back in, right arm over the wicket, and This one is shorter and Henry looks to pull and is hit in the stomach. Way too high for any LBW shout. So there is no appeal. Three dot balls to begin Arkashdeep's 5th over of the innings. Arkashdeep back in, right arm over the wicket, and this one is bowled onto the stumps. It's very, very full, and Henry clips that into the leg side and they take a single. Let's have a look. As we are currently seeing replays of course, the catch from Ravichandran Ashwin, which was very, very good. 2 deliveries left in Arkashdeep's 5th over of the innings. 33.4 overs have been bowled this session. 145 runs have been scored and 7 wickets have fallen in this very session. 2 slips now as Arkashdeep comes right arm around the wicket to the left-handed Ayaz Patel. He bowls very, very wide outside the off stump, relatively short, and Ayaz looks to cut, misses it, and there is no run. Now we have 2 slips and a gully for the left-handed Ayaz Patel. Final delivery of the over to come now. Kohli hyping up his bowler, the bowler, not his bowler, it's Rohit's bowler now. Arkashdeep coming in, right arm around the wicket, and this is a full toss, and Ayaz Patel misses it. It hits him on the leg. There is an appeal for LBW. It is not given out on the field. Again, there is a discussion between Rohit Sharma and his team if he should review that. No, he doesn't. It is a dot ball. New Zealand after 43 overs, 171 for 8. Let's have a look if there is anyone on social media. There is no one in the YouTube chat. Okay. If you want to get in touch with the stream, you can also use social media like Twitter and Blue Sky. I have to admit I prefer Blue Sky right now because it's a much better experience. Yeah, here's an announcement. Earlier today, in about half an hour, there will be a premiere on this here very YouTube channel. I sat down with WG Rumble Pants, who most of you probably know from Twitter, and he gave me an interview graciously, and that will premiere later today after Stumps in this test match. But back to the action at hand. Ravindra Jadeja is back for his 13th over. He is facing Matt Henry, and Henry couldn't make any runs in the first 2 deliveries. Third one coming up now. New Zealand 171 for 8. 2 slips for Jadeja, and this one is through Matt Henry's defense. Jadeja has bowled Henry, and that is that. Let's see the replay for that one. There is a lot of turn, and Henry is beaten on the outside edge as he tries to turn that into the leg side. And Jadeja takes the top off, and Matt Henry has to go. He is clean bowled Jadeja for 10, and that is Stumps. Actually, Stumps has been called in this match with the fall of the 9th wicket. We will be back tomorrow, probably to see the conclusion of this match. I'm pretty sure that I won't. Well, okay, I will make a promise. If this match lasts into the evening session tomorrow, I will be there covering that live for you. Again, thank you everyone who is watching. Thank you very, very much. Do not forget to like and subscribe. And keep an eye out on this channel for the WG Rumble Pants interview, which will be live in about half an hour. You can just look at the videos tab there. It should be scheduled there. I will be there in the chat for the premiere. So if that is something that you might be interested in, give it a look. Thank you, everyone. I will have one final look if there is anyone in the chat. Doesn't look like we have any final chat messages. Do we have any other social media messages? No, I don't think so. Well, again, thank you everyone. And if this match goes into the evening session tomorrow, I will see you then. Bye bye. Thank you very much.